Barack Obama, a name that you might have heard a zillion times. Just a little boy living in Hawaii to become the first black president of the United States, his story is nothing short of a movie.
It's been a long time coming, but tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come.
Have you ever wondered how this young boy became the one to shape history, and what shaped the man who would become one of the most historical and iconic human beings ever? And what's life like for him now in 2024, juggling global influence, Netflix deals, and family time? Well, ready for story time? Let's get right into it. Barack Hussein Obama II was born on August 4th, 1961 in Honolulu, Hawaii. I know, Hawaii, right? You're probably picturing beaches and palm trees, but his childhood was far from just sunshine and surfboards. It was quite different, or should I say, sad. His father, Barack Obama Sr., was from Kenya, and his mother, Stanley Ann Dunham, was an American from Kansas. Yeah, Stanley. It's an unusual name for a woman, but she was a pretty unconventional person herself. Obama's parents met while studying at the University of Hawaii. It was kind of a whirlwind romance, but things didn't work out, and his father left when Barack was just 2 years old. So, young Barack grew up mostly with his mom, who raised him with the help of his maternal grandparents.
Today, I'm signing this reform bill into law on behalf of my mother, who argued with insurance companies even as she battled cancer in her final days.
Now, imagine growing up in the 1960s in Hawaii. It wasn't the most typical American childhood. Barack was mixed race in a time when that wasn't as accepted as it is today. He once talked about how he felt like an outsider because he wasn't, quote, black enough or, quote, white enough. He was a lost child stuck in between the two worlds. But life wasn't all heavy stuff. He was like any other kid in a lot of ways. He went to school at Punahou School, a prestigious prep school in Honolulu. He was a good student, though he later admitted that he wasn't always focused on his studies in his early years. I mean, who can blame him? It's hard to stay interested in algebra when you're trying to figure out where you fit in the world, right? His grandfather, Stanley Dunham, was a World War II veteran who worked as a furniture salesman. Can't even imagine living in that era. His mother, Madeline, worked as a vice president at a local bank. Barack was really close to them, or should I say the closest. They worked hard to give him opportunities they never had. His grandmother especially was a strong figure in his life, and her work ethic left a big impression on him. Lucky to have such loving grandparents. Now, this next part of the story might surprise you. When Barack was just 6 years old, his mom remarried an Indonesian man named Lolo Soetoro, and that's when the family picked up and moved to Indonesia. Imagine being a kid and suddenly finding yourself in a completely different country, and after all the messed up past. Barack lived in Jakarta for a few years, and it was there that he really got a taste of the world outside of the US. Life in Indonesia was an eye-opener. It wasn't always easy. He saw a lot of poverty and hardship. Yes, life is not always rainbows and sunshine, you guys. But the man also learned resilience. He used to catch crickets, run around the streets barefoot, and had a pet ape named Tata. Can you imagine having a pet ape? After a few years in Indonesia, Barack returned to Hawaii to live with his grandparents and finish school. By this time, he was a teenager, full of the usual teenage angst and anxiety and excitement, all of those teenage hormones overflowing. He's been pretty open about how he struggled during these years. He experimented with things like drugs, trying to figure out who he was and where he belonged. You know, the time when every teenager is just out there trying to explore and figure out their lives.
And I was angry about it, even though I didn't necessarily realize it at the time. I made bad choices. I got high without always thinking about the harm that it could do. I didn't always take school as seriously as I should have. I made excuses. Sometimes I sold myself short.
Even though he had these struggles, he always kept his curiosity about the world. He was interested in history, politics, and justice.
With so many people who are family to me, and so many people who claim to be family to me, today I'm really coming as a brother, as a citizen of the world, as someone with a connection to Africa, to talk about the importance of what she's doing, but also to create a larger context for what's possible. You know, Kenya has made extraordinary strides in recent decades.
He began to develop his ideas about race and identity, and the sense of justice regarding these. You can almost see the seeds of his future presidency being planted during these years. He was trying to figure out how he fit into the world, but he was also thinking about bigger issues, like fairness and equality. Barack's childhood wasn't just a simple story of growing up in Hawaii. It was never perfect. After high school, Barack attended Occidental College in Los Angeles for a couple of years, but he felt like he wasn't being challenged enough there. So he transferred to Columbia University in New York City. There, he really started to get serious about politics and social issues. He graduated in 1983 with a degree in political science and moved to Chicago a few years later. Chicago was a total game changer for him. He became a community organizer on the South Side, helping low-income families and working on housing rights. This work opened his eyes to the struggles of everyday people, and it was here that he started to think seriously about how he could make a bigger impact. So, in 1988, Barack enrolled at Harvard Law School. And guess what? He didn't just study. He made history by becoming the first black president of the prestigious Harvard Law Review. Talk about a major achievement. After graduating from Harvard in 1991, Barack returned to Chicago. He taught constitutional law at the University of Chicago and worked at a civil rights law firm. In 1996, he entered the world of politics, running for and winning a seat in the Illinois State Senate. In 2004, Barack made a bold move by running for the U.S. Senate. This was when things really started to take off for him.
My presence on this stage is pretty unlikely. My father was a foreign student, born and raised in a small village in Kenya.
During the Democratic National Convention that year, he gave a keynote speech that put him in the national spotlight. It was so powerful that people across the country began to see him as a rising star in American politics. In November 2008, Barack Obama made history by becoming the first African-American president of the United States.
It's the answer told by lines that stretched around schools and churches in numbers this nation has never seen, by people who waited 3 hours and 4 hours, many for the first time in their lives, because they believed that this time must be different, that their voices could be that difference. It's the answer spoken by young and old, rich and poor, Democrat and Republican, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, gay, straight, disabled and not disabled, Americans who sent a message to the world that we have never been just a collection of individuals or a collection of red states and blue states. We are and always will be the United States of America.
That's how Barack Obama, the kid from Hawaii, made it to the White House. But what about his life after the White House? What's Barack up to now in 2024? And what's his personal life like outside of all the politics? After serving 2 terms as president, Barack officially left the White House in January 2017. Now, you'd think after 8 years in one of the most stressful jobs in the world, he'd just kick back and relax for a while, right? Well, kind of. He did take some time off. Remember those iconic pictures of him vacationing on Richard Branson's private island?
The challenge is objective. Who could stand up the longest after Obama learned how to kite surf and Branson tackled surfing on a foil board? The winner? Barack Hussein Obama. He kite surfed 300 feet, doubling Branson's distance.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I feel like he's rubbing it in. I feel like he's rubbing in his vacation. Like, okay, you guys all take it.
Yeah, the man knows how to take a break. But Barack didn't just disappear into retirement mode. He's been busy with a lot of projects. First up is the Obama Foundation. This nonprofit organization is all about leadership development and civic engagement, especially for young people. Barack and Michelle Obama started the foundation to encourage the next generation of leaders to make a difference in their communities and beyond. They've also been working on building the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago.
My name is Joakim Noah. I used to play for the Chicago Bulls before you guys were born. This place gave me a lot, so for me it's really important to give back. Stay focused, stay hungry, stay driven, on whatever you guys want to do.
One of the things Barack is really passionate about is storytelling. He's always believed in the power of stories to bring people together. So, after leaving office, he and Michelle signed a massive deal with Netflix to produce content through their company, Higher Ground Productions.
We may not think about it, but we're all a part of something larger than any single one of us. And our work is one of the forces that connects us.
It looks crazy downtown.
Good morning, the Pets How to Tell Me Assist You.
A revolution is happening right before our eyes.
What happens if they replace you with a machine?
Artificial intelligence, remote work, spiraling inequality. It can be hard to make sense of where we're going. What if people from 3 different industries, from the service entrance to the C-suite, invited us into their lives and told us, what makes a good job good?
Together, they're working on documentaries, movies, and series that tackle a wide range of social issues.
Michelle and I always tell our daughters, look, summer work is just a grind. You doing something that is useful to your employer, the person who is paying you, and it may not be fun. And that's okay, because that's what it means to be a grown.
Remember the documentary American Factory?
Today, with a plant that's closing, but I'm extremely proud of the people that work in this plant here.
For a year and a half, I didn't have anything. We lost our home, we lost a vehicle.
I have struggled to get back to middle class again.
This is a historic project that is going to help grow this community, give people jobs, and give a future to your kids and my kids.
Well, that was one of their projects, and it even won an Academy Award. Not bad for post-presidency work, huh? On top of that, Barack is an author.
How are you? You guys doing good?
Doing pretty good.
All right.
You from out of town?
I am. Do I get a discount for that?
Visitor's discount.
Visitor's
Oh,
discount?
sure. Thanks.
I think it's a neighbor discount.
Neighbor discount. I'll take that.
After the success of his earlier books like Dreams from My Father and The Audacity of Hope, he published A Promised Land. It's a detailed memoir of his time in office, and it quickly became a bestseller. And trust me, this guy is not just famous for his hard work. His relationship with Michelle is also one of the many things that people have admired for decades. They're one of the most famous couples in the world, after all.
What do you think about Michelle Obama? She's kind of cute, isn't she?
My husband's pretty cute. Not just cute, he's fine.
How good looking is my wife? I love Michelle Obama. Michelle, I've made a lot of great decisions as president. The best decision I ever made was choosing you.
Roses are red, violets are blue. You are the president, and I am your boo.
I, Obama, care about you more than you even know.
Their bond seems to be stronger than ever. And of course, they're parents to 2 amazing daughters, Malia and Sasha Obama. Barack and Michelle have always been private about their family life. But now and then, we get little glimpses of their tight-knit bond. Barack has talked about how proud he is of his daughters and how much he enjoys watching them grow into strong, independent women.
Malia and Sasha, under the strangest of circumstances, you have become 2 amazing young women. You are smart and you are beautiful, but more importantly, you are kind and you are thoughtful and you are full of passion. And you wore the burden of years in the spotlight so easily. Of all that I have done in my life, I am most proud to be your dad.
He's even joked that now that both Malia and Sasha are out of the house, he's dealing with an empty nest. Aw, just a girl dad thing, you guys. And what does Barack do for fun when he's not busy with work or family? He's a huge fan of sports, especially basketball and golf. In fact, he played basketball regularly when he was in the White House and even had a basketball court installed there.
come into town in front of the former President of the United States, Barack Obama, who will be watching this evening.
These days, he's still hitting the courts and swinging the golf clubs whenever he gets the chance.
Walk off. That's what I do. That's what I do. Whoa. All net.
He's also been open about his love for music.
You know, you've just got to kind of let it.
If Drake and Kendrick Lamar got in a rap battle, who do you think would win?
Got to go with Kendrick. I'm just saying. I think Drake is an outstanding entertainer, but Kendrick, his lyrics, his last album was outstanding.
Every year, he releases his famous Obama's Favorite Music playlist. Guys, you really gotta check it out. He's got pretty eclectic taste, from Jay-Z to the Beatles, so there's something for everyone on his playlists. His post-presidency life seems to be a healthy balance of work, family, and fun. He's taking time to enjoy the simple things: family dinners, vacations, and even indulging in his love for books and music.
How are you? So nice to meet you.
How's it going? All right.
Please have quiet, everybody.
Whenever you guys are ready.
Cell phones on vibrate.
What are we supposed to talk about?
Whatever you like.
Have we started?
It was Malia's 10th birthday. Sister Sasha.
Not bad for a guy who used to run the free world, right?
You okay, baby? Oh, no. Oh, she's just like,
Yeah. She's
you better give it back.
Can I get a quick picture? I'm sorry. Oh, you.
Come on, baby. Come on.
There's the girl.
Come on.
From his early days in Hawaii to shaping global politics, Barack Obama's journey is something to be admired for ages. But what will his next chapter hold? As he continues to inspire young Gen Z and Gen Alpha in 2024, what do you think on his story of life? Let us know in the comments section below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.